Biological processes often change over time. For example, a drug being removed from the blood or a membrane potential returning to rest. Two common ways to describe the speed of these changes are the half-life and the time constant. Half-life is usually written as T1/2 or T subscript half. Time constant is written using the Greek letter tau. In this video, we'll look at what each one means, how they are measured, and when each should be used. Let's start with half-life, also called half-time. Half-life is the time required for half of a quantity to undergo a process. As an example, we're going to look at the concentration of a drug in plasma. So the half-life is the time it takes for the plasma concentration to fall to half of its starting value. To measure it, we first administer the drug, then collect plasma concentration measurements over time. Here, the drug concentration is measured every 10 minutes. We then construct a graph by plotting time on the x-axis and plasma concentration on the y-axis. At time 0, the concentration starts at its highest value, then gradually falls as it is cleared from the body. In this case, it follows a straight line. Draw a horizontal line at 50% of the plasma concentration measured at time 0. From where the horizontal line meets the data, drop a vertical line down to the x-axis. The time at which it reaches the x-axis is the half-life. In this example, the concentration fell to half its starting value after 50 minutes. So the half-life is 50 minutes. You have seen how to measure half-life from the starting concentration at time 0. But in practice, we may not always have a useful value at time 0. For example, if a drug is given orally, it is not immediately present in the bloodstream. The plasma concentration may rise at first as the drug is absorbed, and only later begin to fall as the drug is eliminated. As in this plasma concentration versus time plot. In this situation, we can still measure the half-time, but we measure it from the falling part of the curve. Choose a point on the falling phase of the curve and draw a horizontal line from this value across to the y-axis. And note the concentration. Now find half of that concentration. Draw a second horizontal line at this halfway value. From the points where these two horizontal lines meet the curve, draw vertical lines down to the x-axis. The half-life is the difference between these two time values. In this example, the first time point is 30 minutes and the second is 56 minutes. So the half-life is 56 minus 30, which is 26 minutes. The key point is that half-life does not have to be measured from time 0. It can be measured over any falling part of the curve, as long as we measure the time taken for the concentration to fall by 50%. Half-life can also be measured when the decay does not follow a straight line. In many biological systems, the quantity does not fall at a constant rate. Instead, it follows an exponential path. This is common for drug elimination from plasma, where the concentration falls quickly at first and then more gradually as time passes. Mathematically, an exponential process is described by the equation y equals a times e to the minus t over tau, where y is the amount remaining at a given time, a is the starting amount, e is Euler's number, the base of the natural logarithm, t is time, and tau is the time constant. To measure the half-life, we use the same basic approach as before. First, plot the plasma drug concentration on the y-axis against time on the x-axis. Next, plot each measured concentration value at its corresponding time point. As before, the concentration is measured every 10 minutes here. Because the decline is exponential, we do not draw a straight line through the points. Instead, we fit an exponential curve. Now identify the concentration at time 0. Mark half of this value on the y-axis. Draw a horizontal line from this halfway value until it intersects the exponential curve. From that point, draw a vertical line down to the x-axis. The time where this line meets the x-axis is the half-life. In this example, the drug concentration falls to half its starting value after 14 minutes, so the half-life is 14 minutes. The key point is that even though the process follows an exponential curve, the half-life is still measured as the time taken for the value to decrease by 50%. Now that we've looked at half-life, we can compare it with the time constant represented by the Greek letter tau. The time constant only applies to processes that follow an exponential time course, defined by the equation I introduced earlier. Instead of asking how long it takes for the value to fall to 50% of its starting value, as we do with half-life, the time constant asks how long it takes for the value to fall to 1 over e of its starting value. Because e is approximately 2.718, 1 over e is about 0.37. So the time constant is the time taken for the value to fall to approximately 37% of its initial value. The time constant can also be used to describe a process that increases exponentially over time. In that case, it is the time taken to reach 63% of its final value. Notice that the time constant is always longer than the half-life for the same exponential process. That's because the quantity has to fall further to about 37% rather than 50% before the time constant is reached. To determine the time constant from experimental data, we start in the same way as before by plotting plasma drug concentration on the y-axis against time on the x-axis. Next, fit an exponential curve to the data. Identify the concentration at time 0. Calculate 37%, or more precisely 36.8% of this starting value, and mark that level on the y-axis. Draw a horizontal line from this 37% level until it meets the exponential curve. From that point, draw a vertical line down to the x-axis. The time where this vertical line reaches the x-axis is the time constant. In this example, the time constant is 20 minutes. So the key difference is this. The half-life is the time taken for the value to fall to 50% of its starting value, whereas the time constant is the time taken to fall to approximately 37%. Because the value must fall further, the time constant is always longer than the half-life for the same exponential process. Before measuring a time constant, we first need to check whether the fall in plasma concentration really is exponential. In modern practice, this is almost always done using curve-fitting software, which fits an exponential model directly and estimates the time constant automatically. Here, however, we'll work through the process so you can see what the software is doing behind the scenes. We return to the equation for an exponential decay. If we take the natural logarithm of both sides of this equation, we transform the exponential relationship into a straight line relationship. In other words, it takes the form of y equals mx plus c. So, if the decline in plasma drug concentration over time is exponential, a graph of the natural logarithm of drug concentration against time should produce a straight line. And the slope will be equal to -1 over tau. To check this, we calculate the natural logarithm of each plasma concentration value used on the previous slide. The y-axis is then rescaled, and the transformed values are plotted against time. In our example, the points lie close to a straight line, supporting the conclusion that the decay follows an exponential time course. We can now calculate the slope. In this example, it is minus 0.057. Therefore, 1 over tau is 0.057, giving a time constant of approximately 17.5 minutes. This is slightly different from the value we estimated earlier from the linear graph, but it is very similar. The logarithmic method generally provides a more accurate estimate because it uses all of the data points rather than relying on a single point read from the graph. To summarise, half-life and time constant both describe how a biological system changes over time, but they are not the same thing. Half-life or half-time can be used for many types of process and is simply the time taken for a value to fall by 50%. The time constant tau is different. It describes the time taken for an exponential process to fall to 37% of its starting value. So, when to use each constant? The time constant is specifically linked to exponential change. It is often useful when describing continuous biological processes, such as membrane potential changes or drug absorption. Half-life is more commonly used when we want to describe a 50% reduction, such as drug elimination or radioactive decay. So the key distinction is this. Half-life is the 50% point, while the time constant is the 37% point for an exponential process.